All right, good morning, traders. Today is May 12th, 2025. My name is John Carignan. I am the lead instructor here at BYOB Trading. Thank you for being here. Appreciate everybody out there in cyberland, podcast land, digital land, following my content, finding the value in my content. I appreciate that. A little under the weather this morning. Not sure how far I can go with this morning video, but we'll give it a shot. This is how I plan to trade SPY today. I'll hit that at the end of the video. My SPY pivot this morning is 566. Above it, I'm a bull. Below it, I'm a bear. All of the Fab 5 are in daily uptrends. That would be IWM, Diamond Dow, DIA, QQQ, FNGA or FNGB, SPY, and all 5 of those are in daily uptrends. All made inside days, closing over bullish traps, over their hooking 17 EMAs. SPY closed with a 2-hour uptrend and a 10-minute downtrend. Gold's in a daily uptrend. Gold made an inside day closing inside a bullish trap over the 17. Silver in a downtrend made a higher high and a higher low, closing over a bullish cross and over the 17. USO in a downtrend, daily downtrend, made a higher low and a higher high, closing over a bullish trap and over the 17 EMA. UNG also in a daily downtrend, made a higher high and a higher low, closing over a bullish trap and over the flat 17. US dollar index in a daily downtrend. Big move up today, all right? If you look at the dollar, yesterday or last night closed near 100.47 area. SPY max pain. It's not going to matter much today with this huge gap up. It's 565. It's totally irrelevant. Put to call ratio 0.80 puts to each call. For the options that expired today, that's not going to matter at all either. So the big news is we're gapping up on possible trade negotiations being favorable. So we'll see. Thanks for the kind words. Thanks, Rod. All right, let's take a look at the market this morning. Probably going to be brief here. It's a rough morning. Oh, before I get started, let's go with this. Doug over at Right Way Options, all right? He's having his open house today at 9:30 to 4. So if you're watching my video, he's going to have an open house. All you got to do is scan the code in the description, or you can scan this with your smartphone, this little box QR code. All right, and you can get registered for Doug's open house today. Should be a big one. It's got 2 rooms combined, I think RWO and HRC room. So it should be a pretty good event over there at Right Way Options today. So let's go ahead and take a look at. Thank you everybody. Appreciate the kind thoughts. Anyways, Doug open house today, 9:30 to 4. All right, he's really good with options. He's there to answer questions. He's been doing this for a long time. All right, so take a peek at him, stop in, see what he's doing. All right, I'll put the link in the description of the video. All right, let's move this down here, and let's take a look at SPY on the daily chart. Got an inside day. It's a higher low, lower high. Closing over bullish trap. See the 3 EMA up over the 8 EMA. So closing above the bullish trap. Over the hooking 17. See the 17 is these red dots, and it flipped from red to green. So they're hooking back up. Okay, so over that hooking 17 there. Okay, so that's SPY on the daily chart. 2 days still in a downtrend. 3 days still in a downtrend. Weekly still in a downtrend, and the monthly is still in an uptrend. All right, for SPY game plan, it's not going to matter much today. I'll just hit it real quick. The reason it's not going to matter much, because we gapped way up. All right, so SPY pivot today, 566. Again, it's not going to matter much because we're gapping all the way up here to 581. First green entry, 569.40. Price over 569.40 is a bullish green erases red entry. Red erases green underneath 563.20. I don't think we'll get anywhere near that. Okay, for SPY and QQQ options today, 4 days till expiration and 11 days till expiration. Friday options, I like them $5 to $15 out of the money. I like 10-minute uptrends over VWAP. I like 10-minute downtrends under VWAP. Okay, so that's what we'll probably be playing today, is looking for 10-minute uptrends over VWAP and 10-minute downtrends under VWAP. All right, so we'll see where that goes. That's on the 15-minute. All right. For this morning's trades, I will probably leave the pre-market on. That way, VWAP will already be up there. It'll be easier to gauge than to have the 10-minute or the 3-minute or the 5-minute bullish trap, or the EMAs just rip up there first thing in the morning. I'll probably leave the excuse me, the pre-market on in the morning. All right, so there's SPY. Let's take a look at QQQ. QQQ pivot 589.50 again. It's not going to matter much this morning with this huge gap up. Price over 592.20. I'm bullish. Bearish underneath 586. Again, same thing. I like Friday options, 4 DTEs, all right, 4 days till expiration and 11 days till expiration. Friday options that are probably $5 to $15 out of the money. Again, we're going to like 10-minute uptrends over VWAP, 10-minute downtrends under VWAP. So there's QQQ. Look at QQQ on the daily chart. You can see right here we got price action. Another inside day, closing over a bullish trap, closing over the hooking 17, that's the green dots here, closing over the uptrend line, closing over the all-time high anchored VWAP. You can see it was knocking on the door to the bullish upper third. Well, it's there now. All right, so there's QQQ. No longer neutral, now bullish. Same thing in a daily uptrend, higher lows, higher highs. Same with SPY. Okay, they were knocking on the door to the upper third. They're there now. Higher lows, see the higher low, higher high. They're in a daily uptrend. They're closing over the all-time high anchored VWAP and over the uptrend line. So SPY getting it done today. So let's take a look at FNGA. FNGA yesterday, Friday, inside day, really is equal low, lower high, closing over a bullish trap, over the hooking 17, but underneath that all-time high anchored VWAP. All right, so there's FNGA. Still in the neutral zone. It'll probably be knocking on the door with this huge gap up. Probably be knocking on the door up here of the bullish zone, way up here. We'll see what happens. Probably definitely going to get up through this all-time high anchored VWAP. Again, neutral and in an uptrend. Higher lows, higher highs. Let's take a look at IWM. Another inside day over the trap, closing over the trap, over the 17, underneath the all-time high anchored VWAP. Again, neutral, not in the lower third, not in the upper third. In a daily uptrend with higher lows and higher highs. Diamond Dow, higher low, higher high in a daily uptrend. Inside day, closing over the trap, over the 17, underneath the all-time high anchored VWAP. On the backside of this downtrend line. breaking through that downtrend line. There's the Diamond Dow in a daily uptrend in the neutral zone. So they're all in the neutral zone until this morning's activity, and you can see we're all the way up there. A lot of them are already in the bullish zone, upper third of the quad line. So they're all doing pretty good this morning. It's looking good. I just want to visit where what I expect. Diamond Dow, I would expect to get up to see this shelf right here. So I would look for that to start to create a wedge to the upside on Diamond Dow, right underneath this wedge, or maybe right inside it. I would look for a bullish upward wedge to be created here on Diamond Dow, either on the daily time frame or even possible on the 2-hour time frame. All right, look for a bullish wedge to begin to form. Same thing with SPY. We got a shelf right here, same shelf right there underneath 581. I would look for either the daily time frame or the 2-hour time for a bullish wedge to begin to form, to come back up here and start attacking these highs that we had. All right, so there's SPY. All right, same thing on QQQ. Okay, right up here. See this area right there where all of these tails come down? Well, right about there, about 510. I would look for a bullish wedge to start forming on the daily or the 2-hour time frame. And a bullish wedge is going to look like this. Price. I didn't want that one. Price is going to go up, all right, and then it's going to it's going to have a ceiling, and this probably will be the ceiling right there, but it will form a wedge like that. Okay, so look for that upward pennant. I'll just call it a pennant. Well, I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, you can call a pennant something like this. All right, and I don't think that's what it's going to be like. I think it's going to be more up, and then they're going to grind away at overhead supply. That's what I see. So in other words, a move up and then grind away at overhead supply right there. And it's just going to get tighter and tighter, and I think we get a breakout to the upside. All right, that's what I'm looking for to materialize with this big move up. We'll see what happens. Okay, so that's what I'd like to see. I do not want them to rip through, because if they rip through, chances are they're going to come back just as hard. I'd rather see consolidation and spend some time creating a nice bullish wedge up there. QQQ, SPY, IWM, Diamond Dow, all of them. Okay, that's what I'd like to see happen. Doesn't mean that's what I'm going to get. I don't always get what I want, but we'll see what happens here. But that's what I'm going to look for to happen. So there's QQQ. All right, let's hit some, trash those out. Let's go to IWM. All right, IWM, again, inside day. Over the trap, over the 17, under the all-time high anchored VWAP, in the neutral zone right there. Not in the lower third, not in the upper third. Diamond Dow, I think I did this one. Inside day, over the trap, over the 17, in the neutral zone right here, underneath the all-time high anchored VWAP, on the other side of the downtrend line. So neutral, in an uptrend. So all of the Fab 5 making higher highs and higher lows. So they're all in daily uptrends. They're all in the neutral zone. Some of them are spiking into the bullish upper third this morning. So they're starting to get bullish in the bullish zone right now. We'll see where they land this morning when the market opens up. Anything can happen. So we'll see what happens there. So there's Diamond Dow. Let's take a look at technicals. Again, you can see nice bull flag here. Okay. Move up, holding that higher ground. Okay. Again, we spent the day Friday in the buy zone. all day. Nice move there. I like this wedge right here. I got a feeling we're going to start looking over bot. All right. Today. Probably going to look over bot today. So probably jump up there. Then watch for a pullback. Either sometime later this afternoon or maybe tomorrow. Okay. They could probably hang out here all day today and maybe half the day tomorrow, and then look for a kind of a pullback, maybe to this uptrend line right there. This is T21.22. Let's take a look at T21.23. All right, price action. You can see nice bull flag up here. Bullish gap hasn't been filled by the bears, showing us bullish control. That's a bullish environment. Moving up, holding the higher ground. That's bullish. Okay, notice the consolidation over to the right, up over this hooking 200 SMA. On top of that, another bullish environment on the 15-minute chart, making higher highs and higher lows. That's a bullish environment. You got the quad lines up over the 50-yard line, or the midpoint of the quad lines here. That's a bullish environment. Everything looking good. T21, 23, 15-minute chart, 3-bar chart. 3-bar chart's looking okay. Okay, they still got to take out this high right here. They've yet to make higher highs. Okay, so like to see if they can get that done. I expect today's price action bring us up to this fading 200 SMA right up there. Hopefully they can get an attack in on those green candles right here sometime today or tomorrow, hopefully. T21.23 FNGU, right? Again, 15-minute chart moving up, holding the higher ground. It's looking good right there, up over this high anchored VWAP. That's good, up over the 200 SMA. All of this bullish environment looking good there on FNGA. All right, let's take a look at a few sectors. All right, XLE. XLE got a higher low and a higher high. Still in the bearish zone. You can see them ripping up out of the bearish zone today. So XLE still in a downtrend. This morning's price action will break the downtrend, and they'll no longer be bearish in the bearish zone. So there's XLE making a nice move today. Let's take a look at USO. USO, higher low, higher high, closing over the trap, over the 17, breaking out of the bearish lower third, and making an attack to create a uptrend. Right now, they're currently in a downtrend, making lower highs and lower lows. Same with XLE. Still has not made higher highs. They will today, but they were in a downtrend. Let's take a look at UNG. Higher low, higher high, closing over the trap, over the 17, over this 12-month high anchored VWAP. Price action no longer in the lower third, so it's neutral right here. Still in a downtrend, has not made a higher high. GLD. GLD still in an uptrend. If they take out this low, that will negate the uptrend and create a downtrend. Taking out that low right there. That would be a lower high and making a lower low. Still bullish up here in quadrant 4 and still up over the uptrend line. Silver still in a downtrend, has yet to make a higher high. Yesterday's price action, higher low, higher high, closing over the trap over the 17, under the downtrend line, but over this 12-year high anchored VWAP. It doubles as a 6-month high anchored VWAP. There's silver. Let's take a look at SMH. SMH in an uptrend, still in the neutral zone right here, making an attack on the all-time high anchored VWAP. That's the pink line right here. Let's take a look at XLK. XLK, again, knocking on the door of the bullish zone. You can see they're going to make it there today. Price action inside day. Nice breakout to the upside, attacking the bullish area up here. So looking good. XLK. XLF also bullish and in an uptrend with higher lows and higher highs, closing over the all-time high anchored VWAP, over the bullish trap, over the 17. It's an inside day for Friday. XLK, I'm just going to revisit this. Inside day over the trap, over the 17, and over the all-time high anchored VWAP. Okay, so that's bullish and in an uptrend. XLF, bullish and in an uptrend. Let's take a look at IYT. All right, IYT, neutral. Okay, not in the lower third, not in the upper third. Caught underneath all-time high anchored VWAP. Friday's price action looking like, see what we got here. 6402, 6404. Inside day, closing over the trap and over the 17. All right, nice move up this morning, IYT. All right, let's take a look at economic calendar, and then we're going to go with the plan for this morning. All right, on the economic calendar, I'm just going to hit a few things. All right, CPI is coming out tomorrow. That's the main event. CPI tomorrow, main event. Market focus, what's coming in today? Nothing, really. Nothing to be concerned about. The big thing to be concerned about is get hedged for tomorrow. CPI at 8:30. Usually comes on a Wednesday. It's coming in on a Tuesday. Wednesday, absolutely nothing happening. Just petroleum report at 10:30. Thursday, jobless claims 8:30. PPI final demand 8:30. Retail sales 8:30. Philly Fed manufacturing index 8:30. Empire State manufacturing index 8:30. Mr. Powell's going to speak at 8:40. All right, he's probably got some comments to say about possible tariffs if they come up with, if the administration comes up with some new news on the tariffs. So that will be interesting. So two main events this week. CPI tomorrow, 8:30, which I don't think will be bad at all. The big thing is going to be the real outcome with the tariffs, and I think he will speak to that on Thursday. Business inventories at 10, housing market index at 10, gas report 10:30. We'll visit Friday when we get closer. U.S. dollar index still in a downtrend. See lower highs and lower lows, lower highs and lower lows. We were underneath this major support. We broke it. Now we're spiking back up through it. I hope this is just a test. You can see a nice big rip here this morning on the U.S. dollar getting stronger. Well, if we've got some negotiations and those negotiations are good for the USA, yeah, that's going to make the dollar stronger. And still, I do like the idea that it's no longer way up here. It's still looking good. It's still in a downtrend, but we'll see where these negotiations bring us to. I would expect probably a test on this area up here. So we'll see what happens with the dollar. Max Payne, 565. It's not going to matter much today. I don't think we're coming all the way back to 566. All right, so we hit the calendar. We hit Max Payne. Earnings, not much happening for earnings. That's going to be market moving on Monday. on Tuesday. Sony Corp, not sure when they're going to report. Still trying to find the P&L. Wednesday. Cisco's going to report in the evening, 237 billion. Thursday. Walmart's going to report. All right, and Alibaba and John Deere and Applied Materials. Okay, all of those. Walmart, 781 billion, 299 billion for Baba. John Deere, 132 billion, and Applied Materials, 128 billion. They're going to report in the evening. The other three are going to report in the morning. Friday, RBC, again, nothing that's going to move the markets Friday. All right, let's talk about Trading SPY this morning. Okay? So I can finish this up. All right. All right. Here's the pre-market. Let me pick up a clean chart. Okay, and let's look over to the left and see where we expect to find some type of resistance. All right, so I got to come over here to the 65-minute chart. Okay, so see where all these tails poke down? So right about there. I would expect a spike of this area. Right there. And you can see we're up over it right now. Let's see if we can get up a little higher. Right there. Right underneath that low right there. All right, so what's that at? 583. All right, so I'm expecting an upward wedge to form right through here in the morning. Let's pick this up on the 10-minute. Now that we got that up, I would look for the ceiling to be formed right around 583, 584, 585, and 586. And then maybe a pullback, and then have them start consolidating in an upward wedge right underneath here. And that will probably last 2 or 3 days. I'd like to see it last 4 days, okay? And looking for either a 4th or 5th day breakout to the upside. So there's SPY on the 10-minute chart. Okay, so I'll be trading this, looking for 10-minute uptrends this morning. It's going to be hard to chase this all the way up in the morning. I'm going to tell you, options are going to be way overpriced. It's probably not even worth trying to go after. I think the big part is probably get hedged for tomorrow's CPI. They'll probably stick in an EKG. In other words, a big flip up and another flip down. And then they'll probably move sideways again, forming that wedge pattern. All right. So I got this morning. Okay. So I got some calls. Okay. I got nine of these calls, and I'll probably get 200-300% on those calls. And I got some more calls, and I'll probably get 400 to 600% on those calls. And these, I will lose absolutely everything on those, okay, on those puts. Okay, so that's my plan, is to take profit soon as I see the 5-minute uptrend diminish, all right, and to exit these calls, a big part of it, or hedge a few of them. I still see more upward movement. I still think we get over this. I think if the trade negotiations are good, I think we do make an attack on the all-time highs. So I foresee us, after creating that 4-day bullish wedge, having another breakout to the upside to attack the all-time highs. So we'll see what happens, but that's what I visualize happening. We'll see what happens this morning, but you can see here's the price action. Currently, we have a 10-minute uptrend. It's not much. You can see VWAP's right there. It moves up, and then it comes back. Eventually, they're going to double top, and they're going to start coming down, and they're going to create the first candle for the bottom side of that upward wedge to start. So look for that price action to create that lower angle to the upside. Remember, I feel like we're going to get one of these. So candles are going to come down at some point today. I can foresee after spiking this a couple times, price action probably pulls back all the way there, either today or tomorrow. All right, we'll see where they go today. All right, probably going to go up and hold it right here for a little while, and then they're probably going to pull back and then start creating that bullish wedge where price goes like this, and then eventually breaks out to the upside. That's what I'm looking for to happen. All right, so watch for this to spike this area. I'll be taking profits up into this area up here, and then looking for the pullback, all right, to reload. Taking profits and reload, all right, back down here. Okay, so we'll see what happens this morning, but that's what I'm looking for. How far they pull back? I would expect them to pull back to, let me just get the quad lines out. All right, you want them to stick in the upper third. Okay, we want them to stay in the upper third. Okay, so here's the quad lines. So you can see the upper third is probably going to be 574, 575 area. Okay, that's the upper third. So they pull back to the upper third, all right, and then look for that bullish wedge to start to form and a trip all the way back up and then zigzag back and forth as they create that upward triangle to the upside, okay? Watch for that to happen. There's SPY. All right, I'll take questions in the room. If not, I'm gonna be a little bit quiet today. It's not because I don't like you guys. It's just my voice is going, and I got a big webinar coming up, and I want to rest up and be prepared for that. You sound terrible. Yes, well, I don't feel as terrible as it sounds. So that's the good news. All right? I feel very good. All right? Thanks. Yeah. Thank you for the kind words. Okay? But the good thing is, I'm going to get you guys prepped up. Look for that upper third. Okay? Look for price to consolidate. Pull back to that upper third area, about 474, 475, and start creating that upward wedge. All right, back up towards this area up here, okay? Watch for that to probably happen. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but that's what I'm expecting. All right? All right, so I'm going to get this rendered, get it out there to everybody in podcast land, digital land, cyber land. All right? And I'll be back on in about 40 minutes, okay? See you guys in about 40 minutes. Oh, and by the way, overnight, I left a trade on with some trailing stops, and not too bad. Okay, I'm going to be walking into a nice, huge upward. Okay, because look, I got 62. Okay, I got 62 calls. They're going to get 300%, maybe four to 600%. I've got 9 calls there. I'll probably get 300% on those. These I will lose 100%, but I'm getting 200% and probably 500-600% on all of those calls. Okay, and then on top of all of that, last night I put on a trade to the upside for the MES, and I got like 10 linked accounts, so all of them made about 2,300 right there. So times that by 10. So that was a good night. That was a good night. So I sound terrible, but deep inside I'm not. Okay, it's a nice huge move to the upside right there. Okay, so that was I traded the MES last night on the news. All right, that's it. I'll see you guys in about 40 minutes.